In this video, we are going to be assembling the Gnome pop-up card. So I've got all my pieces laid out. Again, there are 2 pieces for the center, and I have cut the back piece out in white. This will give me a place to write my sentiment on. I'm going to be using Jumbo Java in my inking since my color scheme is in browns. So for the base, the first thing you want to do is fold all of your score lines here. Then turn it so that the inside is facing you. And we're going to fold. There are 2 score lines here. The one closest to the edge you want to fold down, and then fold the second one up. Fold this top tab in. Again, we're going to take this to the second one, then fold this one this way. What these are going to do is glue down to the card, okay? So take the second score line, first one, fold back. Okay. So in order to allow my card plenty of time to dry, I'm going to prepare this piece for my base first. I'm just going to glue this edge down. So I'm taking this 1/4 inch flap and gluing it to the base of the card. You want to do that on both sides. This forms a hexagon. So an octagon, sorry, six-sided. So one of these sides here is the front and one is the back. So we're just going to glue this down, hold it there for a few seconds. Okay. Put the pen back in my glue. I'm going to ink the edges of my panels. There are 6. You could, if you wanted, you could cut one of your panels out in white and make it the panel that goes on the back. That would also give you a place to write anything you wanted to write if you wanted to put a little note with your card. So now I'm just going to glue these on. It might have been easier if I had glued these on before I glued the tabs down. But I didn't, so I don't think it's going to make that much difference. Would have just been easier if my card would have stayed flat. There is a slight border around all the around the panel, so just eye that to get that with a even border all the way around. If you're using a dark color as your base, be careful of your glue. Any glue spots will show up on dark colored paper. See, I managed to get glue on my finger. This is the last panel piece, and now I'm really going to set this aside. And I'm going to assemble my gnome. These are the pieces for the front of my gnome. I'm going to go ahead and put my peppermint together first. This fine tip bottle really comes in handy when you have smaller pieces that you're working with. It helps because you're not over gluing. So let's just set that aside. I do want to ink this a little. I want this to stand out as a separate piece because I've cut them in the same paper. The dauber I'm using is a Tim Holtz, and the pads are velcroed on, so you can change your pads for the color of ink you're using. I'm just going to touch his mustache a little on the edges so that it stands out from his beard. Just going to hit the edges of his beard a little. Okay. Not much of his outfit shows, so you don't have to worry about much of that. So when you assemble him, you want to make sure to keep his beard below where the brim of his hat goes. If you wanted the hat to match his clothes, you can just use the brim to put across here, and the beard will be underneath it. So that is an option that you have. Changing the hat color is completely optional, but you just want to take the beard up to where it is flush on both sides. And just glue that down. And then next you'll put on his hat. I didn't line that up very good. Let's see if I can fix that a little. There's a little bit of glitter on the paper I'm using. So it's not wanting to stick very well. There. Okay. Now his mustache, I am going to pop that with pop dots, but I want to assemble my card first, so I'm not going to do his mustache or his nose or the candy cane. I'm not going to do any of these pieces yet because I want to assemble this base piece before I use any pop dots. Now on this sign, you can stamp a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Birthday. So this is for a sentiment on the front. And it has a candy that also goes on it that I'm going to pop with a pop dot. So I'm not going to apply the candy yet, but I am going to put the two pieces together. Okay. So then when you pull your card towards you and you put these flaps down, this is the front of your card. So when you assemble it, you're assembling it backwards. So you want to make sure to take your sign and turn it upside down from the way that you're working, and slide it here into the front. And you just want to slide it all the way down. And then you're going to take this little tab, I folded it back already, and you're going to flip it in and glue it to the bottom, okay? And then your gnome, you're going to slide in the front tab facing you, the back tab facing the front, and just apply glue right here at the very bottom of it. Flip this tab up and glue it down. You only want to be gluing this tab to your gnome. Don't glue it to the top or your card won't open right, because that needs to slide up. So the other thing you need to do is apply glue here to make sure that the top of the card goes up when your gnome goes up. You see, there you go. Okay. Now the gnome on the back slides in. And when you're going to sandwich this over, you're going to glue these two pieces together. Okay. So you're going to, again, just put glue on this tab, flip this up, and then very carefully put glue on the tab, because you're going to glue these two tabs together, front and back, and the middle tabs together, front and back. And you want to apply glue here to your gnome. I did not glue this top tab to the Gnome because it will be secured when I flip this over, and by not gluing it, it will allow me a little bit of wiggle room to move this to line it up. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up the best I can. I might have to trim that a little bit. I didn't do a good job. Hopefully you'll do a better job lining that up than I did. If not, just take your scissors and trim it. If you do it the same color as the front, you don't have to worry about it. These are the scissors I wanted. And then we can just ink that a little. Cover all of our edges on the hat. There. Okay, now this is glued together, just the center pieces. As you can see how it works when it comes up. You've got your centers glued together and your Gnome is glued together here in the center, and it pushes down to close. Okay. So fold this tab over now and let's close it up. And then we will finish So I'm going to use a pop dot here on my hat. I'm going to apply it to the hat so I know that the sticky is not hanging over the edge. And I'm just going to pop that on there. I'm also going to pop his mustache. And his mustache comes right up over the brim of his hat. I'm going to pop his nose. And the candy cane that goes on the side. He is also holding a candy cane. So I'm going to glue these two pieces together. To double pop these. And there he is, the Gnome pop-up card. Thank you.